The abbreviation FLO means that you should crochet through the front loop only. So what is a front loop? It's really important to first make sure that the right side of your piece is facing out. And you can tell because the right side of your piece only is made up of a bunch of vertical V's. There should be no horizontal bars. If the wrong side of your piece is facing out, you would see a bunch of these horizontal bars. So just make sure you have the right side of your piece facing out before you decide where the front and back loop of a stitch is. If you take a look at the rim of your piece, normally when you crochet, you've been putting your hook under just the horizontal V. The technical term for this horizontal V is actually the top loops of a stitch. And the top loops of a stitch are made up of a front loop and a back loop. The front loop is the side of the V that is closer to you. Likewise, the back loop is the one that is further away from you. So when a pattern says to do whatever stitch, and then it ends with FLO, that means that it wants you to do that stitch by first putting your hook only under the front loop of the next available V. So let's say my pattern said single crochet through the front loop only. I would start by putting my hook under the front loop of the next available stitch, so it should look like I've only got 2 loops of yarn on my hook. Then I would do the rest of my stitch like normal, yarn over, pull that yarn through just the hole I just put the hook through, and this time it's just 1 strand of yarn that I pulled it through. So now I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over again, and then pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. And now I have completed a single crochet stitch through the front loop only. So to figure out where to put your hook next, take a look at the yarn that's looped on your hook and look at the 2 loops of yarn that it traces back into. The loop of yarn that's closer to your yarn hand loops back under a strand of yarn. That is the front loop that you just put your hook under. So if you want to start your next stitch and go under the next front loop, you got to put your hook under just the front loop of the next available horizontal V. And you can tell that it's fully available because there's no strands of yarn pulling at this front loop. So I'm going to just do a full round of single crocheting through the front loop only, so that you can see what it looks like when you have a complete round where you've crocheted through just the front loops. Okay, I have crocheted through the front loops of a number of stitches, and on the outside it looks pretty similar as the rest of the other stitches that I've made, which were normal single crochet stitches under both top loops. But on the inside you can see this ridge of stitches left over. That ridge is the back loops that I did not crochet into.